Sensation seekers, welcome to the show.
For God's sake, take it easy, we've got an hour to go.
I'm back in Scotland, in my hometown, Glasgow.
The comedian, right? Billy Connolly. Is it? Is it? Bloody hell.
It's everything to me. It runs through my veins. I love it.
I was brought up in Partick in Glasgow, where Partick Thistle originally came from, the football team, Partick Thistle FC. I say that because most Englishmen think they're called Partick Thistle Nil, right?
I'm turning 75 this year. I know I can't believe it either. And I've come back for a birthday treat. There's my old street. I'll be visiting some places that are very dear to me. Well, that's colossal. Good old Glasgow. And I'll also be meeting 3 brilliant artists. Lovely to see you. The hugely successful Jack Vetriano. You dirty bugger. Rising star Rachel McLean. I bet you used to get notes from school. Rachel has a fertile imagination. And my dear old friend, John Byrne. Great to see you.
It's wonderful to see you, bro.
Each of them are going to make a birthday portrait for me. I've been very patient so far. I think I'll have an episode. I'll be suffering for their art. Excuse me. What? You just walloped me in the bollocks there. And to top it off, Glasgow will give me the biggest birthday present of my life. I've never seen myself that size before. Glasgow belongs to me. Now, at this point, I'm going to explain my health issues to you. It'll save you symptom spotting. I've got Parkinson's disease, and I wished he fucking kept it to himself, but there you go. I haven't lived in Glasgow for nearly 40 years, but it's a place that'll always be home. In fact, I'm probably more famous for being a Glaswegian than anything I've ever done. Without Glasgow, I wouldn't exist as an entertainer. That's all I did was spoke about Glasgow and how it felt to be to come from Glasgow. I'm very proud to be Glaswegian.
Big banana beat.
The place is almost unrecognisable now to the one I remember. A dark old city of soot-covered tenements, smoky bars and the bustling shipyards where I started out.
Shipyard toilets are something to behold. There was no toilet seat, there was just a bar that ran the length of the place. You sort of hung your bum over it and swung there like that. And there was no toilet bowl, there was a sort of a trough that ran the length of the place of constantly running water. So if the guy at the end did a wee jobby, it went shoo.
While I was still working in the yards, I formed a band with a guy called Tam Harvey. We were called the Humble Bums. The Humble Bums eventually became me and the immensely talented Jerry Rafferty. We used to get our album sleeves designed by a mutual friend and the coolest man in Scotland, the artist John Byrne. Jerry even wrote this song for him.
Patrick, my primitive painter of art, you will always and ever be near to.
John is the first artist who's agreed to paint a birthday portrait of me. Well, I've just arrived in Edinburgh. I'm in Dundas Street at the Fine Art Society. I'm about to meet John Byrne, the great artist. And he used to be a friend of mine. I hope he still is. He should be.
Good God. Billy Connolly. How are you?
As I live and breathe.
I'm going out for a smoke. Come to the door with me.
Do you still smoke Gold Flake?
John is some man. As well as his extraordinary painting, he's written one of Scotland's favourite plays, The Slab Boys, and the TV drama Tutti Frutti. He wants to do some sketches to help him with my portrait, and it's brilliant to see him again.
That's a great.
Hey, Billy! Get your haircut!
Shut up! Get your haircut. How dare you, sir?
No, I don't.
Do you know who I was?
You might be again.
Given half a chance. So have you no thought of giving the smoke in the elbow?
Oh, God, no. God, no. Will we go in?
Why not?
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. How old is this one?
It's about 5 or 6 years ago, I think, as far as I can remember.
It's beautiful.
And this was the original.
It's colossal, this bit in
Late
here.
TV.
The vegetation stuff there is
Aye.
brilliant.
Yeah.
Oh, I recognise the pose here.
Yeah. It's a very, very, very ugly child. particularly
There's no such thing as an ugly
No,
child.
but that's strikingly ugly child. The ears are modelled on my father's ears. It was the biggest ears of a human being I've ever seen
Really?
in my life. Yeah.
Like clappy doos. John has already painted me a few times back in the 70s, including this stunning portrait that hangs in the People's Palace in Glasgow. And once he even turned me into a walking work of art on live TV.
I must ask you about that suit. I mean, what's a working class lad like you doing with a suit like that?
Do you like
on?
it? It's a sort of substitute for tattoos. I'm frightened to get a tattoo. And my friend John Byrne in Glasgow, he's an artist, calls himself Patrick. Did it for me. By hand, I think.
It's beautiful, isn't it?
Aye.
I feel like a star. It's magic.
The thing that always killed me about it is that the flaps on the pockets, if you lifted them up, it was identical underneath. You'd painted it twice.
I know.
It was brilliant.
We're going that as well.
The pattern of the Glasgow streets is quite and very cruel.
The media generally didn't employ people with accents like that. They do now. But then they wouldn't.
Oh, my best memory of Glasgow was my childhood. I was with a pal of mine called Gerald McGee, and we were doing a great Glasgow game called See Who Can Pee the Highest. And my father caught me. Yeah. And I'll never forget, slapped me in the back of the head and my willy shot back into my trousers.
People say, why is he called a biggin or whatever? And I says, because on stage he looks 10 feet tall. He just lit up the stage everywhere he went.
I used to say that. I used to behave very tall.
No, you were just a phenomenon. Absolute phenomenon. There was no doubt of where you were going to end up. And look, look at you.
And you too, you're exactly the same.
I know, mine was a lower trajectory.
But you always had a kind of rock and roll image.
Yeah.
Well, to me, you did anyway. You created an atmosphere in your appearance and your extraordinary talent. It was a lovely thing.
Yeah.
And you were the only painter I knew, so I was right behind it.
Nobody compare me with it at all.
So it's time to get to work. Well, John does the work and I just get to sit here quietly. Not my strong point, really.
So do a couple of wee drawings. I know what you look like, for God's sake. I know what your soul looks like, so that's halfway there.
That's lovely.
Yeah.
I've never seen you draw before. How much time do you spend painting?
Every day, 14 hours.
Never.
If it's worth doing, it's worth doing till you collapse.
I think so.
I'm working harder now than I ever did.
I've been very patient so far. I think I'll have an episode. I think I'm entitled to an episode before the day's over. I had a taxi driver once in Los Angeles who said, what do you do? And I said, I'm a comedian. And he said, oh. He said, I'll tell you what you do. He says, you get one of them Irish joke books, you learn them jokes, you can't go wrong.
There you go.
Well, thanks very much. You know something? That's why you're sitting at the front. Away like the clappers. I wonder who the clappers were.
I don't know.
Cynthia and Dolores Clappers. Well, John, I guess that's it. I can tell that's it because I've got cramp in my bum.
Well, thank God, Billy, because I'm
Bored shitless.
more like,
You've drawn some boring faces in my life.
it's a long time since I've seen him face to face. I mean, he's exactly the same, slightly older.
Goodbye, my friend.
Billy, God bless you. It was like yesterday, you know. Enjoyed it hugely.
I was just thinking there, what a job I've got. Fly through to Edinburgh on a lovely day and meet your old pal and spend the day and talking to him and laughing. Thanks, John.
Not at all.
Does my heart good to spend days like that. He's an absolute genius, I think. I can't wait to see myself done by him. It's time for me to meet the next artist who's offered to immortalise me on canvas. Jack Vetriano. Jack's story's remarkable. He used to be a mining engineer, but has transformed himself into one of Scotland's most successful artists. His most popular painting, The Singing Butler, is among the best-selling prints in the UK, and his work changes hands for huge amounts. Oh, there he is.
Billy,
Oh, how nice to see you, man.
you too.
I said, I don't know what this guy looks like. I couldn't pick him out in a police lineup. So it's lovely to meet you,
Yeah, you
eventually.
too, you too. We'll go in the kitchen and have a cup of tea.
Oh, what a great idea.
Right, come on.
So what gave you the idea to paint me?
Well, I've followed your career since Final, and that first time on Parkinson was so endearing. And I think all of Scotland were right behind you, you know, it was, and the joke, you know, the bum sticking out the pole and stuff, just, you know, astonishing.
I hope I can get away with this. It's a beauty. He said, how's the wife? He said, oh, she's dead. I said, what? He says, dead. Do it again. Dead. I murdered her. I'll show you if you want. He said, ah, show me. So are we up to his tenement building, through the close. That's the entrance to the tenement. Sure enough, there's a big mound of earth. But there's a bum sticking out of it. He says, is that her? He says, aye. He says, what'd you leave a bum sticking out for? He says, I need somewhere to park my bike.
When I finished that show, I flew back to Glasgow, and I was coming through the airport, and the whole airport started to applaud. And I thought, I think I've done something here. I just whoosh, I never looked back from that moment.
Yeah, yeah. I do have an issue to bring up with you, Billy.
Oh, jeez.
Because Methyl Steel Club.
Methyl Steelworks Club, yes, I remember it well.
Where the dog came in and shat in the middle of the floor.
I'd obviously eaten something that wasn't breaking down too readily, you know. The likes of maybe a billiard ball or a Coca-Cola bottle or something.
That's my hometown. And then I moved to Kirkcaldy and you insulted that as well.
That's right.
The town you smell before you see.
That's right, what's that smell?
Kirkcaldy, fabulous town, where they used to make linoleum. Great place. Making linoleum's a kind of smelly thing. They were going to change the name of Kirkcaldy to what's that fucking smell? Because... it's the first thing people said as they got off the train, you know.
But it was lovely you've come from a working class background to step into the limelight. It's kind of weird, isn't it?
It's astonishing, Billy, that I still get very sort of nervous because I think I don't belong here. This isn't my patch.
You just expect that the foreman's going to come up behind you and say, right,
Yeah.
your time's up,
Yep.
your tea's out.
Aye.
Well, I'm very proud to be painted by you.
Well, I'm very flattered to hear that.
I feel as if I should be standing on the beach with the tide going out.
And a bowler hat on.
Aye, and a butler.
Aye, yeah.
So this is your studio?
Yeah.
I like a floral studio. Were you a gardener when you were young? Jack's famous for two contrasting styles. Some of his stuff is glamorous and romantic, and some is, well, rather dark and kinky. I always liked watching women dress. You know how all the fantasies are about undressing? I used to like watching
Me
them
too, Billy,
dressing.
me too. I mean, is there anything nicer than watching a woman put a, you know, a
Yeah.
fully fashioned stocking on her toes, and then on the heel, the heel is reinforced. Oh, Christ, I know too much about this.
You're a dirty bugger.
I mean, I don't do that. I was desperate to do it for many years. You know, get into that bit of the old tiesy-upsy and the fucking gear on. You know, but I don't last long enough to do any of those things.
Jack has promised me I won't have to get tied up or wear suspenders for my portrait. He works from photographs and he's chosen a shot of me from a TV series I did in the 90s, my world tour of Scotland.
We're up quite near John O'Groats here, in tropical Scotland.
This was the first sequence that I saw, and I thought, I really do like this. And that there, I think, is the image. Slightly imbalanced, and that is what the painting will look like.
Yeah, that's great.
And that is corner to corner, and it's very pleasing on the eye.
I think it's great. I think there's a sort of great dynamic in that shot.
You look really majestic.
There's a lot of life in it, isn't there? You
Yeah.
know, with the water going
Yeah.
in the hair
Yeah.
and the point. And
In a way, this is a sort of return to the beaches, you know.
oh, I feel very proud about that.
But this will be a wee bit of a challenge, is trying to let people see that that is actually surf.
I'll tell you the biggest challenge is finding where to put the man with the umbrella.
Well, it's been great seeing you.
Oh, it's been
Really
lovely.
has, yeah.
Especially finding out you were a fifer. I didn't know that.
I think I could say fairly safely that that is the highlight of my career to date. It's been a real pleasure to meet you, and more than that, it's been an inspiration getting to paint your portrait.
Oh, thank you very much.
A pleasure.
Now get on with it.
Right.
See you later.
Okay. Every dinner party I go to from now until the day I die, I'll say, oh, did I ever tell you when I met Billy Connolly?
There's one more artist who's agreed to create a birthday portrait of me. I'm off to meet Rachel McLean, and she's a different kettle of fish altogether.
Now is the time.
Rachel's the most exciting new artist in Scotland. She's part performer, part filmmaker, and creates work set in strange fantasy worlds. I'm well out of my comfort zone in this one. Well, Rachel, I tried to Google you last night, and I came up with a big picture with you with screeds of makeup on, like you'd been laid on by a bricklayer.
That'll be me, yeah.
And so I said, give me no clue as to what you actually do.
So I make mostly video work, but video where I'm the only actor or the only model, so I guess quite synthetic sort of worlds.
Sounds okay to me. I'm completely mystified.
Good. This is a film I made, a bit of a mistake of various advertising formats, and it's called Germs.
Is that you?
Maybe it's a touch, a laugh.
So I'm all the characters.
I've never seen anything like this before, and I'm seriously starting to worry about what I've let myself in for.
Pretty good, huh?
Oh dear. That's the last thing on earth I expected.
Really?
It's extraordinary. I really like it. It's I'm kind of stuck for something to say about it. I think that this kind of art suffers from that. from the inability of the observers to see what they're looking at. So what are you going to do with me?
So we're going to be taking a photograph, and if you're all right with it, we're going to be getting you done up in a kind of 18th century sort of tartan regalia.
I don't have to do blue vomit or anything.
And only if you want to. This is the costume that you're going to be getting into here. So there's a hat. So it's kind of, I don't know why I was thinking like Bonnie Prince Charlie style tartan regalia, but with loads of references to your jokes. There's a wee beige jobby in a toilet, in a tiny toilet.
British Rail specialises in that one. In the toilet, lock the door to... Oh, for Christ. There's a wee jobby. A wee beige jobby. You flush and flush with all your might. Dun, 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 dun.
My God, you've done your homework.
And this is a sporran, which is hair growing out your ears and your nose when you get old.
Absolutely. I love it.
My nose hair is accelerating for reasons best known to itself. I used to cut it once every 30 years. Now it's like twice a month. Presuming the body knows what it's doing, I'm very baffled. I wonder what's going to happen to me that's going to need long nasal hair to deal with it.
The big slipper, which I don't know if it would have been that big, but I thought...
Oh, is that what that is?
Yeah.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah, I was quite pleased with how that turned out, if it's that
When I
scale.
did that big slipper stuff, people started to send them to me.
Really?
Yeah.
You get these adverts for things that they obviously can't sell. Have you seen the big slipper? But it's a one big slipper. And you put your 2 feet in it.
We've also got a kind of grab the staff. So this is the finger up the bum. As a staff.
Doctors become obsessively interested in your prostate as soon as you turn 50. And there are 2 ways in. One is a camera through the hole in your willy. Fuck that.
Wonderful, well done.
The other way, finger up the bottom. Oh, for fuck's sake. But he's messing around in there.
Oh, we're in a different game now. I'm about to be humiliated, and I love it. It's 10 times better than I thought it was going to be. I was living in terror of having makeup splashed onto me. I wasn't looking forward to it. Rachel has other ideas, of course, and I've only got myself to blame. She wants me in makeup because of another old routine.
So I was looking, just your joke about the pale blue Scotsman. I've always quite liked. My dad would always reference when we went on summer holidays to the beach.
I tend to frighten people on the beach because being Scottish, I'm pale blue. It takes me a week to get white, you know.
It's really good.
Oh, my God. I bet you used to get notes from school. Rachel has a fertile imagination. I used to get them as if it was a failing.
Yeah.
Billy has a fertile imagination. Oh, but we'll knock that out of him. Holy Jesus. I look like a complete alien.
I think that looks about sporran height.
Sporran height sounds like a German word, doesn't it? Just getting ready. Step out for the groceries.
Looking great. So are you into the big slipper?
I was always going to buy 2. I was going to buy a pair and leave them in the fireplace. when I'm going out at night, in case a burglar comes in.
So I can show you the kind of image that we're going for. We're thinking a kind of Bonnie Prince Charlie type pose.
Right.
So, yeah, that's good. Yeah, yeah. And maybe the legs a wee bit jaunty. But yeah, that looks good.
Never trust a man who, when left alone in a room with a tea cosy, doesn't try it on.
Excuse me.
What?
You just walloped me in the bollocks there.
Sorry. When I came up with the idea of the costume, I was thinking that stereotype of a certain kind of Scottishness, and then this idea of Billy in a contemporary sense representing Scotland abroad. I guess it's kind of come together into something that is maybe at a glance traditional, but when you look closer, all the materials are kind of cheap and plasticky, and there's a feeling of a culture that's inauthentic and that's been reconsidered. And maybe try Shocked.
It's been astonishing, absolutely astonishing. It was great to take part in one of those postmodernist kind of artworks. It's lovely.
And maybe just very serious kind of. Yeah, that's good, yeah. I think we've got it. Yeah, thank you so much. That was great. Cheers.
I've never quite done anything remotely like that before.
Oh.
And the finger fell out of the bum.
What I'm going to do now is take the photos and try and select which one will work best, and then start thinking about the backgrounds.
So while Rachel, John and Jack get on with my portraits, I thought I'd check out another artist in town. A new kid on the block, as it were. I'm about to pay a visit to Scotland's greatest living artist, who bears a strange resemblance to me. I'd never really drawn before, but I started doodling a few years ago when I was bored in a hotel room. And before I knew it, I had enough of them to fill a room. I haven't seen them in such a long time. They go on exhibitions without me. I sound terribly pathetic when I say that. At the first exhibition in Birmingham, I thought there'd be a lot of people going, but it didn't happen. People liked it. And I've been doing it kind of ever since. I'm very proud of them. It's all kind of random. Same as the way I draw them. I don't set out to draw anything. I didn't know it was surreal automatism till I read it on the wall over there. I feel terribly clever now that I'm a surreal automatist. It takes ages to do, but it's kind of meditative. You get carried away when you're doing it. And especially, I remember him at the time, the Glaswegian Icarus. It's lovely to see them again, they're old pals. It's especially nice they're in the People's Palace. I've always loved this place. I've had a long association with this gem of a building. 40-odd years ago, they asked me to open an exhibition here. At the time, I donated some bits and pieces for the collection, and they've dug them out again. It's strange being in a museum at all. You feel duty-bound to be dead, you know, so I have no intention of being dead. So it's a kind of peculiar feeling. Especially that guy up there, I didn't remember that suit until I saw it today. Glam rock was around. I had 3 colours. They fitted much better than they fit him. I spent a lot of time thinking about how I should look so I get more and more outrageous.
Ooh! Our little dog is 6 years old.
I tried everything on stage, from wearing my pyjamas to dressing like a sparkly sweetie.
Do you like it? Well, a licorice boiling, isn't it?
But it was these fruity booties that became my trademark.
There's an actual pair of wellies in there. But it took the country by storm, I'm delighted to say. They were very, very comfortable. The only trouble I had with them, I had to wear a leotard and tights with them. And pulling the tights on, the hair in my legs all went the wrong way. And it was kind of uncomfortable. But I refused to shave my legs. He made one and sent it up to be tried on, and I tried it on and thought it was amazing, you know. And I said, right, carry on with the other one. So he phones up and says, the other one's ready. He said, I must warn you, he said, they're not identical, but then bananas never are. I don't remember ever referencing them at all. I just come on like that and carried on with my act. I couldn't think of anything of any length to say about them, so I just let them speak for themselves. You ever notice about a Glasgow drunk, he walks with one leg? And this is a portrait by John Byrne. I was supposed to have this. Then he phoned me and said, I finished it, but he says, but it's too big for your house and the People's Palace wanted. What do you think? And I said, great. And it's identical to how I looked then as well. It's an incredible likeness. The great thing about being painted by John, he paints great clothes on you. They don't exist. He just painted them from his head. But this is astonishing. Apparently the postcard sells quite well as well.
I've always loved this portrait since the first minute I saw it, and I'll soon have more to enjoy as well.
I just start and I'll just change or develop as I go along. Because I want to be surprised at the end as opposed to having a finished image in my head. Since he got the onset of Parkinson's, it's very, he sort of moves differently. You know, he was very, as you can imagine on the stage, he would roam about the stage, which you can't do now.
I met Ian Holm, the actor who suffers from it, and he has had it longer than me. And he says, do you shake much, your hands? And I said, no, when I'm nervous or when I'm tired, it shakes a bit. He said, oh, yeah, it probably will, yeah. He said, I'll give you a bit of advice. If it shakes, just stick it in your pocket. He forgot to mention jacket pocket.
It's only a physical impediment. He was very clear thinking and just as funny, if not funnier than ever. He seems like slightly more thoughtful about everything as we all get towards the end of this journey.
I haven't seen this for years. There's a great sketch, if you like, called The Crucifixion.
But the way the Last Supper really happened, all the apostles were in there, drinking wine, tearing lumps off the mother's pride, singing, shouting and bawling, we are the Christians! Oh, into these Romans! He's another glass of that wine!
The Crucifixion, I'm sure, was the first sketch that I ever heard, you know, and I thought that's just amazing, you know.
So I said, well, hang on, I'm keeping this down the wind here. So I do like that. Woke up an hour later. Oh, wait a man! Some joker's been up and nailed me to it! Lying in my wife runs the rage!
There's quite a lot to whittle down, but these ones are starting to get into something a bit more kind of regal, which I quite like. I think I'm going for something that's serious expression to kind of react against the silliness of the costume. But I think there is a kind of responsibility in representing Billy because he's so well known and he's this kind of national treasure within Scotland.
It's bloody terrifying. It really is. If you look at what I'm copying from, you just can't see any detail. So I've been working from that and from this, just to get where the studs are and how the sort of flaps come over, you know. Bit of a bonus that he's wearing gloves because I'm not very good at painting hands.
Billy was wearing a blue shirt with tiny little stars all over it. He liked the shirt, and I didn't particularly like the shirt, so I'm going to give him a black shirt.
And this is where I spent my childhood.
So we're just looking at some archive footage and possibly take some of this imagery so that it can be used, but then mixed with newer imagery.
And these are the big badlands of Glasgow.
To get the images for the background, I'm going to go out and just try and take some photographs of contemporary Glasgow. But I kind of wanted to also have the feeling of maybe the Glasgow of Billy's sort of early career too.
I started to work up in Partick, but my workmates were acting gay queer.
When I was a child, it was like a village Partick, as was Govan, Maryhill and the other Glasgow districts. And there were always colourful people wandering about in the place. There are many small men in Partick. In Partick, we used to call those little men talking bunnets, you know, because you look down on the top of their head all the time when they're talking. There are many men in Partick who have the face of a policeman. I used to describe it as a city baker's Halloween cake face.
For heaven's sake, lay them do quick.
So I'm now working on a Scottish sky, you know, trying to make it quite sort of kind of stormy looking.
This is the last step. The whole thing comes down here and ends right here.
I was on Billy's old street where he grew up and took some photographs. But then found this chip shop and kind of doorway, which seems like quite a banal, quite a boring photograph, but I thought it would be fun in the sense of how realistic and grimy and banal it is in comparison to the costume. So now it's just a case of cutting Billy out to try and make the two images feel like they're part of the same world.
Think you'll like it?
So I hear the artists have all been working hard on my portraits, but I've been working away as well. I'm over in the fair city of Dublin finishing some shows. Well, this is the end of the tour. I did 2 nights in Belfast and I've got 3 nights in Dublin. And it's lovely, the High Horse Tour. It's the biggest crowds I've ever played to since I toured with Elton in the 70s. We did Madison Square Garden and things like that. It's extraordinary. My career has been like that since day one. It's been growth all the way, right through 50 years of growth. It's remarkable, isn't it? I don't know why. Most careers are that shape, you know, and they just naturally tail off as you get older. Mine has gone like that and kind of plateaued and then up again like this at the end. Hello. I'm easing towards this. You'll find that most of the night I cling to this like a sailor, clinging to a raft. There's good reason for it. I'll tell you them all later. But we'll get started. Donald Trump. I've got a chair now. I don't sit on it. I haven't sat on it yet. I've got this battle with this chair. I'm not sitting on you. It's right behind me. So I have a little personal vendetta with it. I'm not going to sit on it. It's just one of those things, you know. So I don't know how to handle it. I just stand still and do it, and people like it. The strength's in the material. Please, if you ever meet me and you want a selfie, have your stuff ready. Don't make me stand there as you go through your fucking bag looking for your camera. Because it looks as if I've asked you to do it, you know? It actually helps me at the time. I know before it, I tend to feel hellish. When I come off, I don't feel all that brilliant, but during it, I love it. I get a real buzz, a real boost of energy. It's extraordinary. Then when I come off, I'm much better than when I went on. I don't think it's a good enough reason to stop because you've reached a certain number. I think I'll have plenty of reasons to stop as time goes by, but until then, I'm okay. As long as the stuff's gone down well. And I'll be able to spot it when it stops. You know, with the slightest hint of it dipping, I'll come out of the arena. While I'm in Dublin, someone's popped over to see me. Rachel's here and she's brought her finished portrait with her.
So this is the first time I've seen it framed, so yeah, it's really nice to see the finished piece. It looks great, so I'm looking forward to seeing what Billy thinks.
It's been a good few months since we last met, so what on earth has she been up to since that strange photo shoot?
Hello.
Oh,
how are you
forward to
doing?
see you.
Oh, nice to see you again.
No, it's
how have
lovely
you
to see you.
been?
I can't wait to see the thing.
I know, yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what you think of it.
Because I haven't a clue what it's going to be like.
Yeah.
Oh, we go.
Yeah, come through.
This better be good. Oh my God. It's amazing. This morning I was lying in bed saying, I wonder what it looks like. I was trying to get a picture in my mind and I couldn't. Because I'd forgotten I hadn't forgotten what I looked like. I didn't know what I looked like on the day.
Of course, of course.
You know, there was no mirrors or anything.
Yeah. Yeah, we went through a few different expressions, but I quite like the kind of serious middle distance expression. It feels.
I love that. I think it's amazing. Well done. I love my sporran.
Oh yeah, the hairy sporran came out quite well.
I had it in my mind that it was kind of female looking, and it isn't.
No, no. It's got that kind of Bonnie Prince Charlie sort of pose.
Yeah.
But I quite wanted the background to be a bit kind of grubby and feel like Glasgow at night.
Urban, yeah.
Yeah. I quite like the way the sausage sort of complements the banana horns.
The sausage.
Yeah.
I think they should make the Lord Provost dress like that.
Yeah, that would be good.
Year round.
Yeah. I know, a kind of national dress.
That's lovely. What a job Rachel's done on me. Despite all the crazy gear I've worn over the years, I don't think I've ever seen myself looking quite so absurd. I look like a deep-fried Jacobean dandy, and I absolutely adore it. Oh, it's a great town, Partick. And there's the most important building, Partick Library. Many a happy hour I spent in there. I'm back in Glasgow and I'm here to meet up with Jack and John and see their finished paintings.
I would presume they would say like that if only out of friendship and pity. Mine is quite plain, it's almost like them, but I'll put a little wording around the frame, which might tickle them.
It's a difficult thing to prepare yourself for someone's reaction to your work. But it was a privilege, and it will be a privilege to meet Billy and see his reaction. So I just hope that he likes it.
I'm meeting Jack and John in what I think is one of the greatest buildings in the world, the Kelvin Grove Art Gallery and Museum. I was brought up just a mile away, and like many a wee boy, the park here beside the gallery was a regular haunt. And there's a song, Will You Go to Kelvin Grove, Bonnie Lassie, oh, through its mazes let us rove, Bonnie Lassie. I always wondered where the mazes were, you know. It was well gone by the time I was a boy.
Let us haste to Kelvin Grove, Bonnie Lassie, oh. Through her mazes let us rove, Bonnie Lassie, oh.
I would be about 9, I think. That was just about 500 yards away over, just on the other side of the river, looking this way. We come here every Sunday, my sister and I and my friends. My brother Michael was made to come with me. He was only 6 and I was like 12, so I would lock him in a telephone box down at the gate and go and play in the park.
Though I dare not call thee mine, Bonnie Lassie, oh.
There's a fountain across here behind me. Vinnie Marin threw me in one day. So when I look at this park, I don't see trees and splendid scenery. I see other places where I was flung into the fountain, or where I watched the cleansing department tipping snow into the Kelvin River. It's lovely. As well as looking forward to seeing my portraits, I'm also going to enjoy a wander around the Kelvin Grove Gallery. I used to come here all the time, but I haven't been in about 20 years, and there's been a fair few changes. Where's all the stuff? Oh my God, that's brilliant. Good old Glasgow. Oh, that's fantastic. It's a great place. It was always a friendly place. My sister and I would take our shoes off and slide in our stocking feet. We just slid down here, going that way. God, it's weird being back here. I remember that elephant very well. They used to have a tiger called Sheila, and she escaped in Calder Park Zoo and had to be put down. And they had her stuffed and mounted in here. Like many a Glaswegian, there's one particular painting here that's burned into my memory. Oh, there it is. This is Christ of St. John of the Cross by Salvador Dali. It was bought by the city in 1952 when I was just 10 years old. God, I love that. I've been looking at that since I was a little boy. It's probably one of the most important paintings of my life. You know, it was the first painting to instill in me that painting could be enjoyed by me. And I'm sure there was lots of people like me who saw it as children and instilled in them a love of painting. As fond as I am of this painting, it's not the work I'm here to see. The real treats are still to come.
If ever I wanted a cigarette, it's now.
As I live and breathe, Mr. Vetriano.
Do you remember me?
Of course I do. You're lovely to see you.
Yeah, you too.
Enough of the badinage. Show me the work.
This way.
I can't wait to see what Jack has made. It's hard to believe a fleeting moment caught in a stormy day in the northeast has led to this.
The whole thing comes down here.
Oh my God. Oh, it's great. Well done, that's superb.
Thanks, Billy. Thanks very much.
You've got it.
Well, you remember that day.
Because I remember the day so well.
Yeah.
I remember the cold so well and the wind.
Yeah.
You've got the power of that day there, which must be incredibly difficult to do. It's a kind of rare thing to be in at the beginning of it, you know, the planning of it, with Jack explaining what he was going to do. And then to see it complete is just such a luxury. It's an extraordinary piece of work.
I should tell you the title.
Oh, yeah?
The title is Dr. Connolly, I presume? Which I thought was all right. You okay with that?
Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah, I think it's good, that.
Oh, that's terrific. There's immense power in it, Jack. You know, with the power of the sky and the power of the weather and the wind and the power of this.
Yeah. So I'm so pleased you like it.
Oh, I do. I love it. Yes, I think you've passed your audition, Mr. Vetriano. We'll let you do another painting.
Thank you.
I'm absolutely over the moon with the painting that Jack has done of me. And now it's time to see what my dear friend John Byrne has been up to. How great to see you, my friend.
Oh, it's wonderful. It's wonderful to see you, Bill. You'll not think so when you see your picture. You're looking very well.
I feel terrible.
Shall we go through to see this?
Let's meander.
The big reveal.
Oh my God.
It's horrible.
It's brilliant.
Oh, thank you.
If I didn't know it before, I know it now for sure. John is a genius. This is like looking into a mirror. Oh, that's fantastic, John.
Thank you, Billy.
So you do know my soul right enough. You weren't just havering.
I was havering as well.
But behind every haver, there's a wee bit of slaver. I love the expression.
That was your expression that day. One of pure contempt.
It is. It's contemptuous, isn't it?
I know it is.
I like the mugshot effect as well.
I know. I'll put that in.
And it's not just the painting. John has included a surprise for me on the frame as well. I'm chucky in the water. See the bag of me. Oh, aye. That's a song I used to do. I didn't write it. Fling a chucky in the water. See the bag of money scatter. Fine, well, they know what we are after. We were jilly jars and nets in hand.
I got a sticker on for my Auntie Fanny. and the saltness for my mammy.
Tear your heart out, wouldn't it, John?
No, it would break. It's a heartbreaking song.
I love the frame, though. Isn't it brilliant?
Oh, aye, it was just, it just came to me. I had to put a legend on the frame as well as frame the legend.
Well, John, that's remarkable.
Oh, thank you, Billy. It's remarkable because it's you.
To be with John and the painting is just fantastic. Because John has given me some of the happiest moments in my life. It's a breathtaking likeness. But that's what you would expect from John.
So cool. Goodbye.
So that's my 3 birthday portraits complete, and what a pleasure it's been having them done. And it's great to know they'll be hung together at the People's Palace in Glasgow. Now, I thought that would be the end of it, but it turns out Glasgow has a big surprise in store for little old me. The paintings have been transformed into giant murals right in the centre of Glasgow. Oh my God. Jesus, that's amazing. I've never seen myself that size before. Oh, look at the wee bird. There's a wee bird's nest on my shoulder. Isn't that great? Very moving. I set my left arm going. I tried to stop it shaking, but it's away again.
Oh, I wish I was in Glasgow with some good old friends of mine. Some good old rough.
I'm very proud of that.
And some good old.
I'm deeply impressed by Glasgow doing this for me. Especially when you don't live in your hometown anymore. It's the strangest feeling. You become a kind of tourist in your own hometown. But not anymore, not with this. Glasgow belongs to me.
Oh, I was born in Glasgow.
I'm shaking like a leaf. It's the most profound effect on me.
I would take you there and show you, but they've pulled the building down. And when I think
My God.
it always makes
Oh, that's extraordinary.
they bulldozed it all.
Oh, she's a clever girl there, Rachel. I'm truly amazed at the effect these have had on me. They've just completely stunned me. They're so big, the effect on me is so profound. You know, people going to that length for me, it's just taking my breath away.
Oh, but Glasgow gave me more than it ever.
You're doing well, are you? Oh, that's good, that's good.
Look after yourself.
Yeah.
Great to meet you.
Look after yourself.
Brilliant, Billy, man. He gave us inspiration, all right, mate?
Thank you very much.
God bless you, mate, all right? No hassles at all. Billy Paul.
What can I tell you?
On the road.
Thank you very much. And goodbye.